Oh, I'm so excited to be here. So let's dive in because there's a lot that we're going to cover today. And so this talk is for you, this session is for you if you want to uncover hidden gaps in customer acquisition. You don't have to constantly spend to acquire new customers. If you feel pretty overwhelmed by the idea of building out your email marketing plans, and if you've been tasked with using email to impact your monthly recurring revenue, so if you are a subscription brand or a CPG brand, you've been tasked with using email to do that and you have no idea how to do that. So a little bit about me. Hi, I'm Val. Kunle mentioned I am an email geek. I've worked in marketing at 2 ESPs now. I work at Klaviyo and I worked at a previous ESP before that. And I also spent many years as a consultant and agency owner working in email marketing with SaaS and e-commerce brands. So we're going to talk about how to use email to grow your MRR. We're going to talk about why more e-commerce brands should look to SaaS. And then we'll talk about 3 different retention strategies that I believe are underutilized and more brands can latch onto and use to save existing customers, because we're heading into a holiday season where you're going to get a ton of new customers. And the question becomes, what do you do once you have all these new customers? You can work on retention strategies whether you have a subscription business or not. So don't run away just yet if you don't have a subscription business. See how these things might apply to you. Here's one thing I know for sure. I always think I should just leave this slide up for the entire talk, and that's there's no one right answer with email marketing. What works for one business might not work for yours, so you have to test. Now, it is 5 times cheaper to keep a customer than to get a new one. But there's not all customers we want to keep. So not all of your customers are ideal customers. There's kind of 3 different kinds of customers that I like to talk about. Vampires. So vampires are the customers that suck the life out of your company. Ghosts. Ghosts are really interesting because ghosts have shown an interest in your product. They have shown up, but they've gotten busy. So here's an example of me as a ghost customer. So Bruce is my dog, and I opened this email immediately because I think that's a great question from Rover. Rover's a dog sitting app. And so what they're doing is they're engaging me because I've shown interest in Rover. I filled out my information for the service. I think I was planning a trip and started looking at booking things, but I got distracted. Probably ended up back on Airbnb or figuring something out for my trip and never booked my dog sitting, which of course is crucial to being able to leave for a little while. Now, Rover knows that, and they sent an email letting me know that they don't know when my trip is, but they know Labor Day is coming up. And so that's a time of year where a lot of people travel and take the long weekend. And so they want to re-engage me. So we might call this a re-engagement email. This could be an email that Rover sent out to their entire email list. But I like to think that it's an email that they sent out to people who have not booked dog sitting for Labor Day weekend yet. So you can segment your email list inside of Klaviyo and be able to send emails specific to the needs of your customers. This is encouraging me to book a weekend of dog sitting since I haven't done that yet. Here's another example of showing up consistently for ghost customers. Earth Hero is actually an e-commerce brand. You can see I actually didn't realize the frequency of emails until I went to grab this screenshot. So one thing that I hear over and over and over again is we don't want to bug our customers. We don't want to bother them. Everybody gets so many emails all the time. Well, you can see that these emails were kind of every other day, in some cases every day for a little bit. I had no idea I was getting that many emails from Earth Hero because 35 other emails came in that day. And then the next day, another 60. And so then by the time they send me another one, I've seen 100 other emails that have gone through my brain, and I feel like it's been 4 days, not 2, since they last emailed me. So this is an example. I had not purchased with Earth Hero, just signed up to their email list, and they are showing up in my inbox, continuing to engage me until I either make that purchase or unsubscribe. Unsubscribes are not a bad thing. They are people telling you they're no longer interested in hearing from you. So I love when people unsubscribe from a list because it saves money for the brand, and it also helps with deliverability. You're sending emails only to people who actually want to hear from you. That's the beauty of segmenting too. By creating these segments of ghost customers, you're sending emails specifically to people who have taken a certain action but not another. Okay, so the third, I said 3 types of customers. The third are zombies. Your zombie customers, these are your customers who purchased from you one time and haven't come back. So maybe they, let's see, a lot of snack brands, a lot of food brands have like a trial package where they put a couple of different flavors in a box and send that out. So maybe they bought that, or maybe they bought their favorite thing and haven't come back. You can have zombies whether you have a CPG monthly recurring revenue based business, or even if you don't. You can sell purses and have zombie customers. These are people who purchased from you one time. If you sell purses, you might also sell wallets or scarves or accessories. And I know I'm not even a big purse person, but I have multiple purses. So you have some kind of recurring cadence for your purchasers. Even mattress companies have repeat purchasers. It's just a longer customer lifetime value. So zombies are super important to set up and pay attention to. So the first thing you need to understand is your churn. So churn is the number of customers who leave each month divided by your total number of customers that you had at the beginning of that month. So you can do churn on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, on an annual basis. I think in the SaaS world, SaaS products tend to talk about churn on an annual basis. And in the DTC commerce world, we tend to talk about it on a monthly basis. What is our churn looking like? Obviously, it's a smaller number if you compare annual to monthly. But that's what the information you need to know to better understand who your zombies are. Those are your zombies, your churned customers. So a couple strategies you can put into place. One is going beyond traditional support. So you get a support ticket, a question, an email in your inbox. You or your support team, somebody says like, hey, I really love the peanut butter flavor. When are you bringing that back? And your support team could say, you know what, we don't have a plan to bring back the peanut butter flavor. Like, don't know. It might happen, it might not. But thanks for the feedback and move on. The alternative is to take it one step further. You could say that, hey, like, appreciate the feedback. We don't know if or when we'll be bringing peanut butter flavor back, but we hear you, and if we do, you'll be the first to know. So then when inevitably a couple months later, you bring that flavor back, if your team tagged that email appropriately, maybe, it's under feedback of peanut butter requests, and you can track those requests through support tickets. You can go to those customers and email them and say, hey, you made this request for peanut butter flavor, and we brought it back just for you. We brought it back. We heard you. We appreciate your feedback, and we brought this flavor back. That's re-engaging your zombie customers, somebody who bought once, you no longer have what they're looking for, and they want to know when it's coming in, and so you let them know. So some examples of that from SaaS. Hold on, my cursor is stuck. There we go. Oh yeah. Okay, so this email on the left-hand side is from ConvertKit. It's this big, long email, and it says, hey, we made some updates to the product. people said that they wanted this thing. This on the right hand side is just a piece of this email broken out. This is all saying like, hey, we built this thing. It doesn't actually say, hey, you asked for this thing. So this is an area of opportunity in this email to flip the script. When you create a new product line, a new functionality, a new feature, whatever it is, you add, instead of saying like, hey, we put bigger pockets in our shorts, you can say to your zombie customers who requested bigger pockets in the shorts, you asked for bigger pockets. You specifically asked for this, and we listened and we made those bigger pockets just for you. Think about receiving those two emails. Hey, we did this versus you asked for this and we made it. Which one is more compelling to you? To me, it's the latter. It's the one that says that you specifically asked for this. All people want is to feel seen and heard in the world. And when you help them do that, you win big points. Here's an example. Again, another SaaS example. This is from the team at Customer IO. They launched a new feature. Back when I was consulting, I had a client, we were looking at different ESPs to work with. And they had at one point checked out Customer IO and they said, oh, we can't use it because it doesn't have this feature. Customer IO did exactly what I'm telling you to do. And they came back and said like, hey, when we last spoke, you were interested in us, but you needed this feature. Feedback heard. We created it. The update is we just launched it. And here's how it works. This is actually a GIF inside the email. So you can do this with highly visual emails. You can also do it with text-based emails. I can't tell you how many customers I talk to at Klaviyo that use text-based emails and have incredible results. When I talk to people about their most successful email campaigns and flows, they always tell me about their text-based. Okay, I'm going to keep going because we have a lot more ground to cover. So zombies are really great customers to try to win back, right? We've covered that. This is another way you can do it. So this is, maybe you offer a bigger discount on subscription. So I know I personally purchase from brands that have non-subscription and subscription options, but the subscription has a discount. So you can send emails specifically to people who have purchased a non-subscription and encourage them to choose subscription the next time they purchase and explain why. I think a lot of times we leave the toggle there in the checkout and figure that's good enough. But maybe you need to take some time to explain why subscription is better. You can put in feedback from subscription customers. You can talk about the discount. You can do it all with text, just like this email. Again, you can include images if you'd like. But talking to your customers about what is in it for them is really important, especially for your zombies. I'm going to skip over this one because it's we're running low on time. I wanted to show you though quickly. This is kind of the wrong direction that we're going, right? So on the left-hand side is this big, huge, long email, and I broke out the very, very tippy top, those bullet points at the top. That's what's on the right-hand side, so you can see it. Again, this is a brand saying, here's all this stuff that we did. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bullet points of things that they did to improve their product. They said a major update to how floating bars look. I don't even know what floating bars are anymore. This is a product that I used a year before getting this email. So it's been a year since I last used the product, and I don't know what any of these things mean anymore. So remember that your zombie customers have a frame of reference for what your product is and how it can support them. They need to know about your updates, but they don't want to be bombarded with a huge long email to scroll through, and you need to do it in a way that is speaking to their direct needs, not all about what you did and the hard work that you put in. I know you did hard work, but you just can't talk to your customers about that. So again, just a reiteration here, in case you need it in graph form, the probability of selling to an existing customer is so much higher, 60 to 70% higher than the probability of selling to a new prospect. So all of these are ways to sell to existing customers. Another way is a re-engagement. So this is something that is like a win-back campaign. A lot of people miss win-back campaigns. Somebody hasn't purchased from you in 3 months, 6 months, whatever your traditional cadence is, sending them an email. That it can be as simple as this. This is three sentences, and it gets the job done. It says like, hey, you can come. We miss you. We want you to come back, and here's exactly how you can do it. Another example, this is one where somebody has canceled a subscription. So you could have people who cancel subscriptions, but they remain customers. And this is actually asking for feedback. This is something not very many DTC brands are doing. I would love to see more brands doing this. Yes, it is a manual lift. Somebody's going to reply to this email. They're going to write sentences. You have to write sentences back. It does take time. It is a non-scalable effort, but it tells you so much about your customers, and it gives you their exact words that you can turn around and use in your own messaging. Another example of a win-back campaign, you can use humor too. If it works for your brand, use it. And then there's another one. So lots of examples of win-back campaigns. Text-based can be very impactful for e-commerce. And that's one thing that I really want to get across here. So we have 2 more strategies and only a little bit of time left together. So we're going to go through them really quick. Being human. This one's easy, right? We can just be human beings. It's totally underutilized strategy. Amazing. But talk to your customers. The last thing that I said about getting those replies, talk to your customers. When people reply to your emails, ask them to get on a call with you, and then interview them. Be interested. Show your customers that you want to get to know them. Again, people only want to feel seen and heard. So talk to them about them. These are some examples of questions you might ask to get the ball rolling, to talk about them. Then you can talk about your product. So what made them try your product? What problem were they trying to solve in their life? Did they try other solutions? When they first made their purchase, were they anxious or skeptical about something? Those kinds of things. If they canceled, or if they haven't bought in a while, like what's making them do that? If someone is willing to reply to an email to you, they're probably likely willing to share a little bit of their time with you. I do encourage you to figure out a way to reward them for their time. I like to encourage gift cards to not your brand. So if you incentivize with your own brand, it feels a little bit like now I, as the customer, I'm kind of giving back to you in a way, re-engaging with your brand. But if you give them Starbucks gift cards or Amazon or something that is, or make a donation in their name, there's lots of ways you can do it. But that's a way to get more people to say yes to these interviews. The other thing I want to say about doing customer interviews is that they're really, really hard and they take practice. So if you do a couple of them and they feel very awkward and you feel like you didn't really get good information from them, that's normal. You're doing it right, because you have to get through those reps in order to get to the good ones. Okay, number 3. Build the habit loop. So if this is a subscription or any kind of repeat purchase, you want to create a habit loop. So what is it that makes them want to make the purchase? What is their reward for making that purchase? What is that whole habit loop? This is from James Clear. The book that he wrote, Atomic Habits, is one of my favorite business books. I think if you have a subscription-based product, you have to read Atomic Habits. And it will tell you all about how we build habits in our everyday life, and you can apply that to your customers. You see this everywhere. So jobs to be done is a framework that I use. What is the thing that they are problem solving for? What are their expectations? What triggers them to end up finding your company? What pushes them toward making that purchase? How do they see early wins, and then how do they see wins over time? That is going to keep people coming back again and again. You see it everywhere, from books to movies Joseph Campbell's Hero's Journey talks about this same habit loop, the customer journey buyer cycle. Really important to understand for your own brand, and you can only do that by talking to your actual customers. So dinner party strategy. If you've heard me speak before, you probably know about the dinner party strategy, but the gist is, and I have a download for you, so don't worry about getting all of this in the last few moments we have, but the dinner party strategy is a way to think about the way you send your emails. So that post-purchase emails flow that goes until after the product has arrived, that is crucial time. You can also apply the dinner party strategy to when somebody signs up to your email list before they have made a purchase. The idea here is that you have different parts of a dinner party. You don't invite people over to dinner in normal times and put dinner on a plate and their face at the door. You let them in, you serve appetizers, you have drinks, you have side dishes, then you have your main course, you have dessert, and then you welcome people back. And you can do the same thing in email. So these are some examples. I'm going to just shoot through them pretty quickly here of different types of emails. I do have a link for you to grab a download of the dinner party strategy and better understand what I'm talking about. But you can do all of these things through email. It's the most important part is that you're thinking about not going straight to this one. So usually the welcome email is like, main course, let's talk about the product right away. Think about building relationship first and then dive into the main course. So coffee is for closers. Email marketing is actually an acquisition strategy. It's a retention strategy. It is a communication strategy. It's a way to better understand your customers, and that's why I love it so much. And whatever brought you to this session today, I want you to walk away knowing that email is worth testing. You have to try things out. Einstein said that everything in life should be as simple as possible, but not simpler. But I think he was talking about email. So the download that I have for you is, it's actually, so my agency is fixmychurn.com. You can go to /TDPS. No, you can't hire my agency anymore, but you can go read my blog posts and grab that download and learn more about applying the dinner party strategy to your own brand.
Fantastic, Val. Thank you for this session. I learned a ton. So what my big takeaway essentially is going into the SaaS industry who have got MRR, monthly recurring revenue, to the T because they're trying to avoid churn, and applying it into direct-to-consumer e-commerce. Another major takeaway I got from your talk was this concept of ghost customers as a segment, and just being there, that cadence. So getting a 2 to 3 day communication cadence with them on a regular basis to win them as eventual customers. And you talked about zombie customers who've purchased just once from yourselves, and setting up like win back campaigns. And I loved what you talked about, flipping the script to your customers, which is, we listen to you, and here is what we brought. Here is what we have done for you. And then they're more like the subject in the conversation. You're keeping them really central. So I'd like to just thank you, and the dinner party strategy also. So there's a ton to learn here and to reference. You'll be sharing your slides, or I think it's in the link there, right there. I just want to thank Klaviyo for this session. We learned a lot, and listeners, watchers, the audience can just get a lot of application to their Q4 and BFCM strategy. Thank you so much, Val.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be able to share so much in so little time. But do grab the download because it'll help a lot.
Brilliant. Cheers.